What do you want? We got
So
crazy.
I know
We
you
got
are obviously
crazy Dungeons
insanely
and Dragons
busy.
shit.
Wait, what was that? Show that again.
I got the original books, you know.
Oh my God.
Like I just got this. The only reason why I thought of it is because I just got this one today. So these are like the original books.
What years are those from?
Like late 70s or something like that. I don't even know.
I wonder what. So those came out either when you were super small or before
I
you were.
played them when I was like 4th, 5th grade, something like that.
Okay, so when you were playing them, what did people at the time think of like
I thought I was
demonic?
a demon worshiper. We'll talk about it. We can do whatever. I also got this card game. I don't know. We can show off this Marvel card game if you want. Whatever. I just thought, we can talk about whatever you want. But if you wanted me to talk about some shit, we don't have to. We'll do whatever. It's up to you, man. I just thought I grabbed him. I had him here. I was like, if we can talk about whatever. It's your game.
Yeah. Okay. So one, thank you so much for coming on. I know you don't have a ton of times. You're super busy. I could have you on all night, 6 hours if
We're
you'd like me.
going. No, I mean, I gotta feed my older kid at some point. But yeah, let's go. Let's go for 60 minutes at least. We can talk about whatever, man. It'll be great.
There's one thing that I wanted to go and or there's a bunch of things I want to talk to you about. One is that I was looking before on OpenSea. I have like 1 or 2 things on there for sale. And I don't normally go on there that much. And I realized that there's no ads. Like when I'm scrolling on Facebook, when I'm scrolling on TikTok or even Twitter, like every 3rd or 4th post is an ad. And I'm thinking like, why don't they have that? And then when Veve becomes big enough, should Veve do that in like the market feed or in the Veve verse, like just for stupid stuff like Subway or Orbit Gum or Jim Beam, like what are your thoughts on that? Also, cheers.
It's a business decision. It's a branding issue. It's we talk about that on, it's funny on, the various companies that I've had where we've had relatively good traffic. It's just generally speaking, when you look thinking about ads and shit, people don't like it. So it's a branding issue. On Veve Rank, right? Why don't I put a bunch of ads on there? Believe me, I've thought about it, right? And so it's just dollars and cents, everybody doing the math. So, you're making $10,000 a month off of ads, but then everybody hates it and it's running slow. And, it's just a math equation for these people, I think.
Yeah.
But it is a brand thing. And then the question, of course, is, are the ads representing what people want? I would think they would get, I'm not to say a bad word, but the people who are going to buy ads there are going to be all these crazy crypto places. So you would have like a gazillion FTX ads on there.
Oh,
and that would have been fucking terrible, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm just guessing, right? These are all guesses, but the juice must not be worth the squeeze. Is that because believe me, OpenSea is interested in making money any way, shape, or form, just as any business has, and they've talked about it. And I bet you they talk about it once a quarter.
Yeah, probably.
And so because it's easy money, right? Why can't you just buy your way to the top to those featured projects on OpenSea?
That's true. Yeah.
Why don't they let people? People would buy their way.
They would.
So.
So you're thinking is that their thought process is that people would not only just ignore the ad, like they wouldn't be indifferent. They would actively hate the ads and maybe stop going to OpenSea and instead go to like Blur, or maybe just go to Veve, or any other type of platform, right?
Yeah, it's it's just it's a math equation, and it's a branding equation. So like let's just take an extreme scenario like Apple. They're such a premium brand, they would never do that, right?
Yeah.
Veve, I think, seeks to be a premium brand, and so they probably are not going to put ads up there where it's just not going to look so good, et cetera, et cetera. That's my guess, right? And so when you talk about OpenSea, I don't know exactly their plan, but it's definitely would take away from the marketplace that they are. But then the question, I was going to say something like, but then you could get a premium membership and then the ads could go away and they can make, it's all about, monetization.
Yeah.
And right now, I think obviously in their current business plan, it's not there, but I think it's something that I'm sure, because it's so obvious that they're talking about.
Yeah.
And subscription models is the way is the way, you can make some money, very quickly. I think about some of the websites that I've been a part of, and you're constantly asking those questions, because if you can get enough eyeballs on the website, it's easy money.
Yeah, agreed. That'd be a great way to double dip. Have people with ads, and then to stop for the ads, pay so that you don't have to see it. Which I would totally do. I wonder, do you think that we would, in the Veveverse, when we get our land, that we wouldn't be able to put up signs for advertising ourselves? Because it is, it is our own land, but it is in the Veveverse kingdom. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, my instinct is they wouldn't let you, but it would then, of course, you can hear all the people like unhappy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that the whole Veveverse thing obviously is going to be a thing that we'll have to watch and explore. We know step one is these vaults, and you can go outside of them and walk around, your little area outside of, we saw that in Anaheim. And then I do think that you'll be able to jump to people's vaults and look at them. That I kind of believe is probably going to happen pretty quick, I imagine. But the next question is this kind of world where you could, not just instantly teleport to people's vaults, but actually kind of drive around, right? That's why you'd want to have your spaceship, or you'd want to have your Lambo, to get to back and forth between people's vaults. And then of course they're going to extend. Yeah. And it's weird too. So like, they're like, yeah, you can't put I'll make it up. Let's say you have your vault is in a really, really hot place. We've always talked about this. It's on a great, piece of land that
Yes.
for whatever reason, a lot of people pass by, and, some NFT project wants to pay you $200 a day to have a big sign there. And Veve says, no, it's going to be goofy, right? Like people aren't going to like that. These are all, and this is why I'm excited by it, because all those conversations will happen, and what happens initially might not be what happens after 6 months or 2 years, and it's the wild, wild west.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the argument, like if somebody says, like, for me, I'm very pro like freedom, pro liberty, and be like, I should be able to do what I want, freedom of speech, whatever. But then you could have the argument of like, okay, well, what's to stop like some really crazy people like advertising like white power swastikas on the land? And it's like, okay, well, then I also think that you have you're going to have like the kids. I mean, I guess you could have an adult version, a kids version, or like if your particular ad doesn't meet a certain criteria, it will only be seen by 18 and above. It won't be seen by kids. It won't be seen by anyone that's influential or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot that could go into it.
They probably don't want to get there right away, because it's just, they'd have to have an entire compliance office, right? It's they, once again, the juice is not worth the squeeze, or whatever it is. They'd have to have, all these people, because and what offends you and me might not offend another person. And of course, other people are probably a little bit more sensitive than I am. So it does open up a can of worms for them. So they probably will be like, no, you can show but then, why can't you take, whatever, you have 10,000 of this comic. Why can't I take that and make letters on my wall outside with my 10,000 comics, and I can spell out, go click on, whatever land, you know what I mean? So it is goofy. It's going to be an interesting.
That's a great point. I'm so curious.
Because if you're like Johnny Dunn, who has like a gazillion followers in the Veve app,
Yeah, he's got like 5,000.
Ridiculous, right? He's got to have the record. And, all those people want to see his vault. He's an OG. He's got crazy stuff. Why can that guy not kind of monetize that a little bit? Why not? That seems like he should be able to do that.
Yeah, he should. He's worked hard for it. He deserves it. So speaking of stacking stuff, I will pass my 700th collectible on Tuesday. I had this choice of either getting the Lambo or getting the Lambo and maybe not completing the Marvel Mighty set on Tuesday, or skipping the Lambo and getting the Marvel Mighty set. I decided to sell a couple of decon things, but a lot of my major stacks are in Marvel. We have Smarty Pants that has 445 Plutos, which is absolutely bananas. Yeah, I saw it at Decon. It was great. What are you stacking, and are you selling any of your stacks for Lambo or the Marvel Mighties this week?
I'm stacking comics. For the most part, I don't have that many collectibles, not compared to you or a lot of people. I have, I think, like 64 sets, but a lot of those are like Silver Surfer. That's a set. You know what I mean? Blue
You have the
Tide, that's a set. So
41 and 42, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm really but I have some sets because I've been really interested in MCP. So I have some sets that are worth a lot of points. So for example, I have I have like a lot of the Disney posters, like the Disney posters that are all secret rares. That set's worth like 35 points or something like that. So I have those. So I have the resort posters. I have the Paris posters. So some of those sets are have a lot of points, and I pay attention to that. The ones that I have stacked from a collectible perspective would be, I have a lot of Spider Gwens, but when I say a lot, not compared to a lot of people, like I might have 20 of them, sadly I stacked them at like 100 gems or something like that, and they're at like 10 gems now, or like that, maybe 15. So that was not a good one. I have every Mighty set, but I don't have stacks of them. So I might have, for 2 or 3 Lokis. I might have 2 or 3, I don't have stacks and stacks of these things.
Yeah, for that set, or I asked a poll back in November, how many sets do you have? And it was either 0, 1 to 4, 5 to 8, or all 9. And there was only like 700 people that answered, but more than half of them had 0 of the Marvel Mighty sets. So I thought that was interesting. This is going to be the 10th set. And I think outside of James Bond, I think this is the one that has the most sets in one row. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that the Mighties might maybe they don't get gamified, but they represent the skin that gets gamified? What do you think Marvel plan is for this?
I mean, it's just their version of Funko Pops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're, rumor, speculation. But I think they could come out with physicals. I think they could, obviously gamification is something we've talked about. I think all those are possible. I don't know, but the funniest thing is, I don't even know how that would affect the value. So let's just pretend they came out with physicals. You could buy them at, Target, Walmart, whatever.
Yeah.
Does that mean that they go up in value? I don't even know what that does. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know, right? I guess it might go up in value because you have the person because I think the reverse would happen. In other words, like might want to get the physicals to match my NFTs. But of course, I think what Veve would want is people would buy these physicals and then they would be like, I want to get the matching NFT. But as we know, a lot of those people who are buying physical toys might not be into NFTs. No. And of course, then there's this game of you buy the physical, they'll give you an NFT, and it's a way to kind of get people into the app. So that's interesting too. But I don't actually know or think that a lot of these Marvel Mighties will be worth super amounts of money. I know they're FA, so that's interested. I think it's just fun.
Yeah,
but, it's always surprising. Like I said in my live stream yesterday, I really like Admiral Thrawn. He's a Star Wars guy, and I'm not in the Funkos, but I was like, you know what? I like this guy so much, I'm going to buy the Funko. And then I looked, and it was $45, and I was like, oh, that's an expensive Funko. Not going to get that guy. But I just looked yesterday, or maybe it was the day before, and it's now worth $250.
God damn.
Some of those actually go up in value, but it's the whole game of which ones,
Yeah. I mean, I guess, do we know for Funkos how many were made for each one?
I mean, I don't know a lot about that. I don't think so. I actually tried to look that up. It's the same thing as comics. We don't really know the print runs. We don't know if they're making more. We don't know if some guy, took the pallet and stole whole boxes of them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear about that in comics all the time. Where there's a secret palette somewhere of Ultimate Fallout 4s, and this guy saw it in there's 10,000 more copies that nobody knows about and stuff. But
that's so cool, like the local lore. I think one of the ways they could try to implement the physicals and make it so that it's a free advertising way is Veve could say like, hey, we're going to give away 10 or even 100 sub 40s of all the Marvel Mighties, 10 from each set. And then they could say, like, you have to take a picture of your physical Marvel Mighties that match the digital ones. And this way you have, I don't know, like 10,000 people all taking pictures of it. Maybe not that much, because I feel like there's, oh no, maybe you can. And then if you do that in a really cool way, then they'll give away, you know, a bunch of it. I think that could be really cool.
Yeah, they're so cool. I don't know why. You know, it's funny because I did not like them right away. Like I was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
like
not, they wasted all the FA. You know, I remember there was all that, you know, all that stuff. And I admit that I didn't like it as much. And I still, you know, you think about like Daredevil. I'm glad that Daredevil's FA is that red one that we have. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But you know, if they did it as a Marvel Mighty, it would have been what it is, right?
Yeah.
So I think it'll all work itself out. And yeah, lots of people in here. Wow. How many people do we have?
69. Everyone comments nice down below for 69. Mostly because you're here, because it's you have a wealth of knowledge here. You streamed for a couple hours yesterday. Shout out to you.
My wife and kid are up north. We have friends up there, so they go, you know, every 6 months up there. A bunch of them, all of them go up, a bunch of families go up there, hang out. And so they're having a great time. So I'm, you know, holding down the fort here and streaming with Randy.
Yeah. The Alex mentioned yesterday there was another stream that Veve Magic was doing, Sologo and Secure and Metaverse Life, and he was saying that they're going to try to do I don't know if it's a Comic-Con in Canada, but they were going to try to do it on August 25th through the 27th. And unfortunately, if they do it that weekend, that is Taps's wedding weekend. So I won't be able to go. But if they do that weekend, would you go to that con? I think it's in Toronto.
August, you said?
Yeah, I don't know if that's on your side of the country.
Yeah, no, I definitely will try and go because you know, that's pretty close to here. Mm-hmm. Minnesota is relatively close to Toronto. I'd probably definitely try to make the trip. I don't know how far it is. Maybe it's probably only like an hour, or maybe a little bit more of a flight. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I definitely try to make that. Just trying that. My son is in marching band, and it's like super crazy in that month as they prep. But you know, I can probably get away for a weekend or whatever and run up there and see what's going on. That'd be really fun.
Oh,
you're not gonna make it. Huh? Maybe you could like leave for, you know, an hour, get on the private jet, go to Toronto.
That's not my private jet.
That's how the big ballers do it. You know, they're, you know, 2 hours here, 2 hours there.
I would love to buy in. The guy that owns it said I could buy into it one day if I needed to and get a few free flights a year or whatever. Like, oh, that'd be dope. I would love that. There's one other thing or I guess there's a bunch of others I want your opinion on, but one that I was just learning about is that Google, this is the last year that Google is doing third-party cookies. And after this year, in 2024, they'll no longer be allowing it. So people won't be able to say like, oh, you were just Googling, you know, whiskey. Let me give you ads on Facebook or TikTok for whiskey. What do you think that does to the industry as far as advertising, third-party cookies, and all other things that involve just search and people listening to you?
I mean, and a lot of that stuff is beyond my tech knowledge, but it definitely, I think, you know, and even you think about what Apple did to Facebook, where they kind of took out their ability to track things through their Facebook through their app on the phone. Yeah. I think we're seeing a huge shift in how search is going to be performed. It's funny. I was just talking to a guy who's really smart the other day, and of course, you know, the big thing that people are talking about is Chat GPT, and if people don't know, that's just, you know, new open AI thing where you go and then you type something and it will produce an answer. And what's interesting that my friend said is that they actually are solving the problem better. And so when you go to Google and you say, you know, who's Randy Chavez, you want the answer. Google doesn't give you the answer. it tries to figure out some website so you can go find the answer yourself.
Yeah.
So Chat GPT is like the next level. It's like actually giving you the answer. Now the question is it giving you the right answer? I don't know. But it's interesting that they it's like the next evolution of search. Now, obviously, it's even more complicated because you can have it like actually do work, for you in terms of, I'm Sleeping Comics. I need 14 ads to run on Facebook. Write me 14 ads, and it will be like, whereas before I had to go pay some crazy advertising agency, right?
Yeah.
So it is, I mean, and this is, I'll say this too. Sorry, it's a long-winded answer. So when I was young, I can't remember if I said this to you before, but I think it's good. So when I was young, I went to my dad and I said, Microsoft's just a monster. They own an entire monopoly. They have Microsoft Windows, which is like 98% of everybody. They have Microsoft Office, which is like 98. I mean, literally, they're a massive monopoly that how could they ever be beat? And my dad said, that's what they used to say about IBM. How they're everybody wanted to work for IBM. It was the number, they had the smartest people there. They were a monster. How could you ever beat them? But Microsoft didn't beat IBM at what they were doing. IBM made big, massive mainframe computers. Microsoft made PCs, which IBM didn't know how to do, and the whole market had shifted. They could never no one could go toe to toe with IBM and mainframes. They were, they were the master of that, the monopoly of that. And so it's the same thing here. No one is going to go toe to toe with search as we know it with Google. You're going to lose. They're like insane, right? You have to do something completely different yet valuable. And it seems like Chat GPT, obviously Microsoft, they put in like $40 billion or something crazy into it. And they're using it with Bing now. So, I mean, there'll be other competitors. The scariest thing about Chat GPT, it's like version 3 or something like that. What's version 4 going to look like?
I think version 4 is going to be, they're going to use, I think, 100x more like data points or 1000x more data. Like, I think, it's insane. I think ChatGPT.
What's really crazy is that, and I'll just continue with this other example I gave, which is this is how AI, if you've done any AI programming or anything like that, it's highly recursive. So that's how it learns. It looks at the results and then learns again. And of course, since it can do it a trillion times in a second, it can learn really fast. And so the example that I just gave you is write 14, ads for Sleeping Comics, and it produces them, and then quickly you turn around and flag which ones are good or bad, and then it learns that these 5 are good and these 6 are bad, and now its algorithm just got smarter, and then you just it's like so scary.
I love it. It's also the thing that does terrify me the most. I love it because I feel like it puts up, because it saves all of the questions that you ask it. And if you are ever looking to see what you're most curious about and what your mind is really like, after like a couple months, just go to the things. It's like, hey, if you were to look at your searches or your questions from an outside point of view, a third party, what would you think of the things that you ask it? And I think for many people, a lot, like, it puts up an actual mirror up to your face, no makeup, warts and all. And sometimes it's like, oh, hey, people are asking about how they can help the world. What is love? And what, like, more understanding. But some people are just, some of the things that they write are a little selfish, and some of them are a little, but so I think it's good in that way, but it's bad because I've asked it to have to generate a scene of if Vision were to be talking to aliens, like from like in the perspective of Vision in the MCU, and it reads exactly how he would say it. It reads exactly like, I couldn't tell that it wasn't a script that I was reading from Marvel. It's very good at that. To your point of, you're talking about Microsoft putting like 40 billion into it. I was reading a statistic before that Facebook, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, 4 of those companies combined had only raised $250 million before they went public. So, and obviously that was a long time ago for a lot of them. But if Veve could go and raise, let's say Vive's worth $2.5 billion, they could raise the same amount as all four of them combined by only giving away 10% of their equity, 10% of the company. What does a Veve look like if they have $250,000 in the bank in their war chest?
$250 million? You mean
Yeah,
250
what do
million?
they look like if they're able to
I mean,
raise
obviously, you
250
can burn
million?
it pretty quick, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I mean, it's pretty crazy. And the valuation of Vive's got to be, I do, since I've been involved with a lot of with VCs and raising money and everything like that, the valuation of Vive's got to be insane, like really
probably,
valuable.
probably
That
two
would be
billion
my
at
guess.
least. How much was your guess?
I don't know. I mean, once again, generally speaking, it's a modifier on a lot of different things, but it's on, one place to start is obviously your raw revenue, not your profit, your raw revenue. So, and we could probably guess at that, right? But let's just make it up. 50 million, $100 million a year. I don't know. Okay. Now, obviously they got to pay their licenses a lot. So their money that they're, have at their, but money is money in terms of looking at some of those things. Then you would put a modifier, a multiplier on that for the tech. So in other words, if you had like extreme patent tech that nobody else could make in a million years, like ChatGPT, it's not that nobody else, but it's pretty well, it's obviously at this point in time, it's significant. The modifier is huge. And so for ChatGPT, that whatever it was $40 billion. That's why they got that out of Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
So the modifier for Veve is going to be very, very high as well, because their tech, and this is just my opinion, and they might disagree, their tech's probably not as great as, if you go look at Hero, if you go look at some of these other, their tech might not be that advanced, but when you combine with where they're at, with their revenue that they have, and then of course they have these licenses.
Yeah.
And we think that they're exclusive for a period of time. Their brand is really strong. I mean, a lot of people, once again, would probably disagree with you and I, but I think it is. And the modifier is going to be huge. I mean, that's why you could say, 5 million, billion. I don't know. It's 500 million. It's going to be a big number.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, they're not going to sell 50% of the company. They're going to raise, they're going to sell 10% or 20%.
Yeah. Even if that much, if they need to, or if they want. I mean, the amount of gems that have been bought, and obviously we have no idea how many gems have been cashed out or how many are stayed in there, because there's no good way to track them. But there's 404 million gems that have actually been sold, that they've actually sold to the public. And let's say, even if a tenth of that was cashed out, which I don't think 40 million was cashed out, because I think a lot of it that was cashed out really was in 2022 or 2021, before we had the actual cash out, and people were basically just selling their gems so the gems would stay in the marketplace, and then people would use those gems. That's their gross revenue. I don't know exactly.
Once again, they're not, and I'm sure there's people in here that may know more than I about some of this stuff, but from my experience, they are looking at it from the 5-year, 10-year perspective. Yeah. And so if you're a pre-revenue company, you're like, I have this great idea, and how much money have you made? 0. I have an idea. Well, have you made the product yet? No. So that would have been if we saw, some of those videos with Alfred Kahn, whatever. That's if they raised money at that point. I don't know if they did or not. That's what their pitch would be. And they'd say, this is such a great idea, and XYZ, our company's valued $50 million. Now someone would be like, I'm not, but now that they have revenue and they have an audience and they have all these different things, it is super legit. And so, and I try to do this in some of my videos too, where people get caught in the weeds, last week there was only, 20,000 gems versus, and then we had to do, no, you're caught. No, from the big perspective, when people are investing money, they're not like, they're looking at it, what did you do last year? This is the amount of money, because most companies can't generate anyway. I don't care if any way, shape, or form, they cannot generate $100 million. Like, that is a lot of money. So, I mean, once again, is it a lot of money for Apple? No, it's a joke. But for most normal companies, $100 million, when you've only really been out in the world for, 18 months, it's a bunch of money.
Yeah.
And so, because what will happen is there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. You can be like, when you have so much money, you can just tweak something. Now, people are not going to hear this when I say this, but you can just raise 1% on some fee and it's a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's like if you have, that's why, YouTube, LinkedIn, all these companies are so strong, because they have 100 million people that visit their website every day.
Yeah. That's a Super Bowl every day.
It's a Super Bowl. That's a great way to say it.
Yeah. I'm just to kind of, fight the misinformation out there. They have generated in top line revenue a lot more than what you just think they're worth. And they're already worth more than $1 billion. Like they're already a multi-billion dollar company.
They probably are. I agree with you. I bet you they are.
Yeah. I mean, and that came from, I think, like 2 years ago from Vanity Fair, but also just because, based on everything else that they are. What's interesting is, go back to your question of what do you do with $250 million? Yeah.
The thing that, and I bet you they could get it, the thing that's interesting is that they haven't. And that, is that, they're a bunch of dumbheads? No, that shows me that they're calculating. They're trying to, do it the right way. They're trying to make sure that, they're just not getting a bunch of money and blowing it all. So in the .com era, right when it started rolling, like 96, 97, 98, I was involved with a bunch of .com startups. Yeah. And one of them was just like, it literally was unlimited money. I was one of the developers there. I was very young. And I remember, it was just crazy. Like this one guy's like, his back was kind of bad. So he's like, I want this Herman Miller chair. So they bought, with a $900 chair, they got it for him. And then the other developer's like, how come he gets a Herman Miller chair? And then literally we all, because there was 20 developers on staff, we all got Herman Miller chairs like the next day.
Oh my God.
They like shipped them all in. And I'm like, oh, here's my new chair. I guess I have a Herman Miller chair now.
Oh my God. So they spent like $18,000.
They just had unlimited money. I mean, we got, for every 6 months we stayed, we got a bonus check of, I think it was like $10,000 or something like that. For every 6 months you stayed and didn't leave and go start your own company or go to another competitor.
Yeah. I see that a lot now, or I see it's in that last stage before it happens that a lot of people are, unless they're getting an insane raise or unless they can negotiate by switching companies to get an insane raise, because a lot of times when you switch, you can get like a 20-30% raise as opposed to staying with one company. If they don't get that, a lot of people are going to do their own startups with a like a ChatGPT type of deal with an AI thing.
Well, and if you know a lot about blockchain right now, you could start your own NFT project. You see what I'm saying? So these developers that have skills in these different areas, not all of them are entrepreneurs, right? But yeah. It's definitely, how many people can really know what's going on right now. That was kind of like the beginning of the internet. I remember like people legitimately did not understand how a domain name worked, where you bought it, how you hooked it up. And well, I mean, still people don't. I mean, but that's like, I don't know how my phone works, right? But I mean, and I'm not saying, but there just wasn't that many people who knew how to buy a domain name, set the DNS records correctly, set up a web server. So if you were, I mean, I don't know how many people there were, but I mean, I knew how to do it. So it was a huge advantage, right?
Yeah. There's like ENS domains now. Like people are able to go and, yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, yeah, it was, yeah. So we are in that world right now with blockchain, I believe, Yeah.
So in the acquisition area, do you think that, I mean, I don't know if they would want to buy someone like Hero, not that because they're not great, because they obviously have that trifecta with Backhouse, Palm, and then the comics that they're releasing on there. But what other companies or things do you think they should buy? If they're going to make an acquisition.
You mean Veve?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting way to spend $250 million. No, I'm being serious. No, it's, so when they're acquiring things, obviously, my companies have acquired things. There's kind of two ways that we always thought about, and maybe it's pretty Monday, it's pretty feeble, but is number one, if it's a competitor and you can just take them out, it's just an advantage to that. So that's that, HRO is not a direct competitor, but yet they're in the plays, et cetera. Another thing would be to acquire some sort of tech that you don't have, but that's actually more difficult than you think, because then you got to reintegrate it into yours the way they did, necessarily the way you do it. It's not as clean as people often think. And we know that HRO and et cetera are on a different blockchain. So now what's happening there, right?
It's a good point.
The other thing I think obviously might be significant is they're buying those licenses. So now you have an inroads in and to DC. You don't have their comics, but you have these cards. You kind of, it's an interesting acquisition. See, Backhouse is different. I don't know if DC would want to sell. They obviously have a number. Everybody has a number, right? Yeah. Because you wonder with, the highest level of DC is involved with Backhouse, like Jim Lee, the chief content creator. So, he's sitting right next to the CEO and other people, and they must, and I do probably believe that they're like this, they want to have a strategy for Web3, and they're actually fairly successful with it right now. And so if they give that up, what are they going to do? Just sell physical comics the rest of their lives? Like, it'd be rough. Like, it'd be tough for them to give it up.
I think what a couple of people have been mentioning, I was probably watching comments, like things are directly from DC. But although DC doesn't have they've had a rough decade. Like they have not made the best decisions. And I think who was the one that helped buy Time Warner? Was it AT&T or the AT&T Time Warner? I know one kind of put it from
they've been purchased twice now in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And every time it happens, they come out and they're like, they lose so much money. They're so far in debt that it's insane. Yeah. And even it hasn't happened lately, but you always hear, like in the world of comics, like they'll miss a month and you'll be like, is Batman never coming back? Where's the Batman comics? Because they're like they're canceling comics all the time. They literally they've struggled so much in the past, like you said, decade. Now they obviously have James Gunn running it. They're trying to turn it. And the new guy, because they just were purchased by Discovery.
Yeah.
He cut everything, which he probably should have, which was very difficult to try to get him. But I think their balance sheet must be terrible. But
yeah.
But I think they're trying to get it all together and in a better place. And but that's why they cut, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, those people were too expensive. They're going to go get a bunch of actors that cost $1 million a movie, not $20 million a movie.
No, which I understand that. I mean, the cuts. So here's something else I want to go over. The cuts that have, since Elon Musk went and cut like a third of Twitter, it seems like since then,
I thought it was 75% of Twitter.
He cut how much of Twitter?
I don't know. You heard I thought he cut 75% of it. But
whatever, he cut a lot.
He cut a lot.
He cut so many people from Twitter. And it seems like after he did that, all of the other tech companies are just like, oh, Elon Musk can take the flack for it. So it seems like they have been cutting a lot of people. Like Facebook, I think, laid off, 10,000 people or something like that. And I think they might cut off more. Where do you see a company like Facebook going that has $100 billion in revenue, that has been focused on the metaverse? They've been spending, I think they'll spend another $25 billion this year, and they'll sustain that for the rest of the decade. Do you think they're the big winners in the Web3 metaverse era? Do you think it's a company that is rather small, that has a lot more room to grow?
I mean, I would bet just, I think about once again, don't want to dox myself, but one of my first jobs was for, now they're called Accenture. At the time, they were called Anderson Consulting. Massive computer consulting company with I don't even know how many. Worldwide consulting company. And I remember we were really interested in different things. Just I don't know. I was part of this research project for like 3 weeks, and we researched this one industry. I can't remember what it was. And I remember one of the partners said, "Okay, we're shutting down this project." And I was like, "Why? I mean, this is interesting. Like, I think we could make a lot of money here." And he's like, "The entire market is like $25 million. So if we were to get like 5% of it, it's nothing. Like, we want to do projects. The market needs to be like $10 billion, and then we'll get 10%. And then, so I think that's what those guys are doing. They are looking for markets where they can make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And so if they're like, hey, this little market over here. And so I think Web3 represents that. This is a, blue sea, although it's getting red pretty quick, a blue sea that we can go to potentially make billions of dollars, because that's what they're interested in. They're not interested in, oh, we're going to make another $10 million. I mean, that's like a rounding error for them, I bet.
Yeah.
So I think that's why that you see those, obviously all those guys are good at it. But yeah, I mean, I just, they must have identified that as this is, because if you are Facebook and you're monopoly, you're dominating it, you're winning.
Yeah.
But I think that they must have said, these whatever 10,000, I don't know how many people they laid off, are not helping us towards this other thing. Maybe they were people that only worked on web stuff and they wanted more, blockchain developer. I don't know. See what I mean? So that's why they probably made that decision. I mean, in the past, obviously, tech people, they do so many things for your company. That's why they're so valuable, because they can create tech that could potentially allow you to lay off people, which that's always the most expensive people. I mean, it's sad, but I'm saying give you competitive advantage over your, people you're competing against. I mean, it gives you a good tech person can really check all these boxes. Plus, you have to have one to even stay in the game. So that's why these people have been so highly compensated over the years. But as you said, a lot of things are changing.
Speaking of changes,
you get ChatGPT to write the code for you. So
that's true. It can code too. It's scary. It's wild. I can't wait to see when the next one comes out. But speaking of changes, it seems like a lot of the stuff at Veve is changing, where like the culture seems to be changing. Culture seems to be a lot more positive. They have Old Rhubarb that is doing all those amazing videos. They have Metaverse Life that's going and making that thing for them, the Veve 500. And then they also, I think Reese had said in the Acomi Telegram chat the other day, they went from, I think, like 15 devs to over 25, and they're not done yet. What does that look like when you get, assuming they're all decent devs, going from 15 to 25, how much more progress can a company make? How long does it take to get them familiar with the code that's already there? And how long does it take for them to go and start producing?
I mean, they probably already have a plan, right? And really it comes down to your development has to be, I think back to even my days at, I'll use Accenture again, where they would have 200 people on a project and then they would just put 200 more. If your architecture isn't set up so people can work in parallel, it won't matter, because then you'll have these bottlenecks. So in other words, let's give a good example. Let's just pretend like the OUP can't be finished unless you have MCP.
Okay.
Let's just pretend that. So if you hired an additional 100 people to work on OUP, it doesn't matter. MCP is not done.
Yeah.
And so an example which we saw, we were getting lots of hints of it. We only get hints of it, right? Was last year when they kept talking about our move to IMX. Like, we can't do all these other things until we move to IMX. Remember how we heard that again and again? And I don't think they were lying. I actually think they were telling the truth. Yeah. And you think about it, they probably had all this code and stuff written to Go Chain or whatever, that API and all these other things. And so when, we're going to go work on a lot of code, but it doesn't matter because we have to move. So that made sense to me. And so I think they have you can see they have problems with that. So in other words, we can't do this because then we have to get the new drop system out. See how they have these like bottlenecks?
Yeah.
And so I think that's what's hurting them in just, Why don't you hire 100 more developers? Well, what do you want? They can go over here and sit at their desk and play Tetris all day long. You know what I mean? So that's where, I think their new CTO, I think I'm not sure how long he's been there, 6 months, 8 months. I don't know. I'm sure he did some analysis of that. They have the new project manager guy, Mitch, who I'm sure he's done a bunch of analysis of that. And you want to, obviously everything is intertwined, but you want to develop your technical architecture in such a way that you can have, 5 guys work on this, 5 guys work on this, 5. And so for some reason, I think they didn't have it set up like that. But as you said, I think they're doing that now.
Yeah.
So that's why I think people are like, just hire 10 more devs, hire 100. I think they know their own issues. It's because they've have these bottlenecks. And so now they're trying to unwind those. And I think hopefully they'll be able to run faster.
Yeah, I'm hoping so as well. Have you gotten beta for crypto pay-in or MCP yet?
Both.
Nice.
Yeah,
Did you have any points yet?
I'm very lucky. I am still it's still calculating my MCP points, so that'll be interesting. I don't know what it's going to turn out. I saw that Dr. Profit was starter level. So if he's starter level, I'm sure that I'm like I don't know what's before starter level.
He's the number one wall.
Whatever. I'm nothing level. And then I did get the crypto beta, but I haven't done it yet. I should give it a go. But super excited, and I like their plans. Once again, we like plans. We're going to roll it out to these 100 people. Then week by week, we're going to add more, and we're going to experience some bugs, and we're going to fix the bugs, and it all seems like a normal development. And you know how they have the 2 week, they're talking about, and that's a standard. Every company that I've run, and that's a standard sprint development cycle. So you code for a week, you test for a week, you put it out there, and then you do it again and again and again. So they've been
doing that for the past months. They've been on schedule when they released that to Apple and Google, and obviously it takes a few days to get to us because they have to approve that and whatever. But did you? Okay, so you got the update that was yesterday, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
and the small incremental updates is great. Nothing wrong with that. We like that.
Yeah.
So I think it feels way, it feels way better than it did before. Don't you agree with that? I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah, because the progress, and again, this is what I love. This is exactly what I had mentioned like a year or two ago when I mentioned okay, Apple comes out with a new product every year. Is it the best new thing, and is it worth the money? I mean, if you already have an already working phone, it's probably not worth it to spend the extra $1,200. But people do it because they expect it. Is it the greatest improvement by leaps and bounds that any other company is doing? No, I think their camera is still behind on megapixels to Google. But they do something every year. People expect it, and they deliver. If Veve continues to do these updates every few weeks and they continuously deliver, that just goes on the chart. Hey, we've had these updates every month, how many updates a quarter. I'm very, very excited about how people react to that.
To not always, talk about its roses and whatever they say, but the fear is that, and I'm only talking from a tech perspective because I still think they have these licenses locked in, which are unbelievable. The fear is that the world of Web3 is so new that there will be tech that comes out that jumps over all their work. So perfect example, I won't take it back to the internet. So when I first had my first company, which was, we built websites, you like an animated GIF where a GIF moved around, or a button where you would mouse over it, it didn't exist. You had to hand code it.
Whoa.
So you would get you would get multiple images, and then you would code the animation sequence so that when you moused over, the button would push in and out. So you actually would load 10 images at once and then code it. And JavaScript was so feeble at the time. So basically we would code all these buttons and we spent a lot of time doing that. And we actually got it down so we had different colors and we could swap them in. And that gave us competitive advantage because we could put buttons on there where you could mouse over them normal, we see every day, right?
Yeah.
But what happened is that was great, but then someone invented CSS, and that was just packaged in with every browser and everything, and you could do it with one line of code. So whereas my company spent all this time kind of creating this like thing, suddenly 2 or 3 years later, anybody could do that, and they could do it with one line of code.
Yeah.
So that's what so then the fear of Veve would be like, okay, we're going to spend all this money on this MCP program. It's going to be awesome. And then I'm making this up. I don't even know if this is possible, but 2 years, it's just so baked into Web3. You just turn on the switch and everybody has MCP. And it's just, that's not even, that's the fear. You're too early. It's like you're too early. So you've had to spend resources where other people did not have to spend resources. And you can see that a little bit with some of the newer projects like HRO, Backhouse. They have things Veve doesn't because they started later and they just kind of got them packaged in with different tech that's already been built. So I think that's one of the fears you could have with Veve.
That's a good point, having things going. And although in 2 years from now, even if that goes and that is baked into just a couple lines of code and everyone can get MCP that, has a startup.
I mean, that was a ridiculous comment because each one is different. But
let's play the dominoes out. Even if that happens, the company that's going to start out, let's say they have this amazing idea, let's say they have a couple things of IP. If they do that in 2025, they have to compete with a Veve that's in 2025 that is just going to blow them out of the way in every other aspect of the water. Fambam, what is your favorite update that you've had in the last couple months? Whether it's an announcement, whether it's a tech update like search, or something that they have gone over in one of their community updates?
I would say more probably something that they've gone over. It seems like the OMI to NFT will be here sooner than I expected. And that's what I've always been waiting for. So I'm excited for that one.
Are you going to spend your OMI?
Maybe. But I'll also sell for OMI.
True.
And like,
Sleeping, when that happens, are you going to sell some of your stacks for OMI? Are you going to use some OMI that you have to get some other things that you think are still undervalued in the Veve app because that's what you value? What is your plan?
I'm just going to I'm keeping everything.
Okay.
I mean, I might sell some stuff. I always sell some stuff. So in other words, you see me, I'm always selling stuff. So I've, 4 Silver Surfers. When it goes up, I'm going to sell some of them. You know what I mean? I just kind of sell on the way up. So I'm always selling, I own a bunch of ASM 300s. I think I own like 30 of them or something like that. So as they go up, I'm just going to sell them, but I'll keep 20. OMI is a weird one because, I don't have a stack like you have OMI. Very few people do, but I have, millions of it. I don't know. I'm probably going to, if it gets to a cent, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
5 cents would be interesting, but once again, I'm not going to sell all of it. I'm going to only sell a little bit of it. And I do want to try and use their staking thing or whatever they have, their different tiers or whatever. I want to get in that. And I might sell a little bit of it. I don't know. I think, and I know you talk about this, not financial advice, all this other nonsense. I think you do got to figure out what your game plan is for where you are in life. Obviously, I'm a lot older, so I put a lot less of my money into, no offense, Randy, I put like not very much money into this whole game. So it's just, it's just fun. I hope it goes good. If it doesn't,
Fambam, when we have people like Sleepin that has specialized knowledge in a couple different things, or you have someone like Taps that's, the job is, kind of in Web3 or crypto, like who is the person that you think is best that Veve have in their camp, that they're invested in Veve, not only for the amount of money that they would make, but because they have an interesting product as well? Who are you most excited out of anyone in the fam that is in the fam?
Gosh, just one person? There's so many.
Too, I know that there's a lot of people. Assuming that everyone is at least has some positive net impact, who do you think has the most positive net impact? Or like the most positive, like, hey, this person is here, that gives us a good thumbs up. It's like when people are like, they like a certain politician. Oh, Chuck Norris likes this politician. That's really good for us. He's in our camp. Something like that.
Oh gosh, like somebody that's known, like Jeremy, Uncle Jeremy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
that's
one.
that's a
really
good
one.
answer. That's a really good answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer, actually.
Yeah, because how many other people have a company that gets bought up by Warren Buffett? Like no.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just know that he's obviously done all this stuff. Didn't he do the Squishmallows too or whatever? My kid has one
Yeah.
of those.
So Jazzwares that do the Squishmallows, they got bought up by what's that Berkshire. They got up by Berkshire. So yeah, it's it's a really good point. I didn't even think of that.
I have a question for you, Randy, because obviously you are we all are big advocates of what's going on at Web3, Veve, etc. What do you, because I know, like, for example, you like Warren Buffett, you like various people, I think, various YouTube personalities. What do you do when these people that are super smart, they just hate on crypto, hate on NFTs? Good example of that would be Warren Buffett, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
you have, I think it's similar to someone that is really good at, let's say, like basketball, and then they they're good at one particular thing, and they are a sports legend. That doesn't mean that they're good at cricket, and it doesn't mean that they're good at like driving like a NASCAR race car. It means that they're good at that one thing. When you have Warren Buffett, that I would go out, and I might get some hate for this, would go out and say that he might not understand crypto and Web3 the way, and definitely not the way that he does, value investing in stocks. Warren Buffett is really good at what made him rich, which was buying things that were either undervalued or things that were undervalued. And he did a lot of what I did, is he made the argument that, like, hey, a baseball hitter, they have to swing when they have two strikes, even if the pitch is, a little up high and away, where they might only have a 137 batting average. They don't have the choice to wait for the pitch that's low and inside, where they have a 397 batting average. They have to swing. When you're an investor, you don't have to make investments at any point. You can wait for your pitch. You can wait for that investment opportunity where it's going to be good. So he did that a lot with insurance companies. He knew and understood that 100%. I would say he's a titan in his field, but the field has changed very drastically over the last several decades. And I would argue that someone maybe like Cathie Wood, Elon Musk, or someone that is in this current investing field, I would go on their team. Like, if I would get scouted as like an investor, for any of the analytics persons for any of these teams, I would opt not to go with Warren Buffett, because I would not do anything I bring to the table to him. That's he would probably just say no. And I want to go where I can. Yeah. So that's a
good analysis. I think it's and you hear this again and again, and it's funny because even as for myself, as I'm older, like I said, I know I have my blind spots because of my age, and I think it's valid. I think it's super valid.
Where are your blind spots, do you think?
Oh, it's funny. I was talking about this with my kids. So, like, there's things that, like, I feel like, you guys kind of know me, but I'm like super open-minded. Like, politically, I'm pretty open-minded. But like, for example, I was trying to think of things that I just like would freak me out. And I think, for example, as we move forward, the evolution of like medical tech is we're going to end up being like cyborgs. So like,
yes.
Let's say I hurt my arm, my kids might be like, hey, Dad, get your arm chopped off, get a robotic arm. And I might be like, I'm okay with not having an arm. That's too freaky for me. See what I mean? Or replacement of, we've already have like heart replacements and other things. But I think as you move forward, arms and legs are one thing, but I actually think, look at ChatGPT, right? If you don't have some sort of implant to help you do calculations, you actually will be fairly useless in society.
Yes.
So now you're getting this crazy brain implant, so it can do calculus for you. You don't actually need to learn calculus anymore. Like, if you don't have that, people are going to be like, I'm not hiring you because you like actually can't do work here because you're not smart enough because you don't have that, whatever chip in your brain. So that's where, like, that's my blind spot. Like, it goes too far. I'm just like a normal dude. Like, I don't need chips in my brain or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I think that's where in the future, like my kids or my kids, they'll be like, oh my God, everybody gets a chip in their brain. What are you talking about? So that's kind of a weird blind spot that it was just kind of funny because we were having this conversation a couple months ago. But there are, that's what I mean by there are, just as there were blind spots for my parents, along the way, that's obviously a check blind spot, but obviously we know that there are people, that are racist. They just can't get over it. They were born that way. Their parents taught them that. They just, for whatever reason, they hate Asian people or whatever, you know what I mean? And so I think that there will be, but there's also blind spots with tech. There are a lot of, I've said this before. I remember so many people that said, I will never buy anything on the internet. That thing is a joke. That is a disaster. Same. It sounds similar to what we're doing right now. Bitcoin is a disaster. I don't know how many people said that, because a lot of the first internet companies, you know what they were? They were scams and they suck. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Web3, crypto, rug pulls.
Yeah.
You bring up a really interesting point, and I want to ask Bam Bam this question. The Harvard came out with a study a couple weeks ago that is 13 years in the making, and they studied that the loss of epigenetic information can drive aging, like when cells can no longer replicate and they lose some genetic information. That drives aging, and the restoration of that can actually reverse it, or it has so in mice. Not only the fact that they've lived 107% longer, so they've essentially doubled their lifespan, but they've also, the quality of life has improved drastically as well. Bam Bam, you have two kids. One is grown and the other is growing. Let's say when Omi goes to the moon and you could afford to get that epigenetic information of yours restored and you could reverse aging, would you want to if your kids could not afford it? Because...
Oh, if they can't, what do you mean they can't afford it?
Like if you could reverse your aging at least slightly, or slow it down, stop it, and they still age, would you do that in the sense that you might outlive your kids at that point? We'll sleep in space.
Well, if Omi, I wouldn't. That's a hard question. But I would do it. But then if I could afford it for myself, I should be able to afford it for them too.
True.
So,
that's fair.
It'll be a family thing. We'll live forever. We'll be vampires.
Sleeping. What about you? Similar question would be like, would you choose to do it, or would you choose to say like, I will give it to one of my kids that can, or my wife, so they can take care of my kids?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because I know a lot of friends of mine are starting to have health issues, and whatnot that you wouldn't think about when you're 22 or something like that. But yeah, I'm not a guy who wants to live forever. I want to try to make it as good as I can till the end, and then hopefully I'll die fast, right? You don't want to be,
I for real wouldn't want to live forever. But if it's just a little longer,
a couple more years, and I just gotta see Omi get to $1.
All right, end of this decade. You got to the end of this decade. I mean, so there's an episode of Batman Beyond. I don't know, Sleeping. Have you ever seen that?
No, I mean I know Batman Beyond, but I haven't.
Oh, Batman, has your kids ever watched Batman Beyond?
No.
So in one, it's when Bruce Wayne is like this older Bruce Wayne. He's like 70 years old with a cane, and this new Batman called Terry McGinnis shows up, and they work together. And Bruce Wayne does a deal with Talia al Ghul of him going into the Lazarus pit, and it reverses his aging, brings him back to like 40 years old. Not in the prime of his life, but he's extraordinarily fit. He's back to his old self. And he says, no, I feel like this is cheating. I feel like this is not natural, and it goes against the laws of nature. And I get, maybe that's something that you get when you get older, aging gracefully, as you guys have done. I have not aged gracefully. I look like poop. And
Stop saying that about yourself. You keep saying it all the time.
I also want to live
a jar, and you have to put 1,000,000 Omi every time you talk bad about yourself.
I also want to, I maybe not forever, but I want to live a long time. Like like things that you said you're open-minded. Aren't there things like you still want to try? Aren't there things that you want to like do? Like if I live forever, I'm gonna like I don't know if anyone remembers the Area 51 memes where they said they wanted to like clap alien cheeks. I want to have relations with an alien. I think that'd be fun. I don't might be the whiskey talking, but
It's okay. You do you, homie. But see, if it wasn't for Omi, like if we didn't have all this, and I didn't believe that this was gonna like get me to early retirement and things, then probably I would not want to extend my life. But if it was to come through, hell yeah, I'd want to live a little longer, because then I want to be able to enjoy it longer. Like I want to live a good, rich life.
That's a good point. So the other day, KuCoin had asked, what alt tokens should we list?
Right,
and
that was
the Veve fam went crazy. Fam, we'll start off with you, and then I know Sleeping you have to go soon. Then we'll
I should probably get out of here soon.
Okay, then we'll end with your response on it. If you were to create a pitch to an exchange on why they should list OMI, like what would it be? What would it include?
Question. Don't ask me that stuff. Oh my god. Why list OMI?
Yeah.
Because it's deflationary. It's got a good community behind it. It's going to change. Well, that doesn't really matter, but I mean, it's going to be. It'll be easier for everybody to access and buy it, which would cause more people to get into the token, so they would have more liquidity in their app. They're just going to get a lot more action. Right now with everything down, it's not going to be amazing, but it will get there. You've got the OUP coming out. You've got a lot of, plus die in your sleep.
I love people. Okay, Sleeping, same question. What type of pitch deck would you create to get an exchange to list OMI? Or
I'm assuming, once again, I don't know the business plans of these various exchanges, but I'm assuming they're making money off the volume. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so if you don't have a pitch for that, they're not interested. I think that, Veve is as compelling as pitch as you can for volume, because they make money off of the trades, right? So all the OUP and all these other pieces of the puzzle are going to be the ones that increase the volume. But I would say that what other project has mass market appeal where you could literally have, we always make it, we could have millions of people trading this coin. OMI literally could have millions of people trading your coin. Do you want it on your exchange? It's probably smart. I just think it's a no-brainer. I bet you, and we've heard this, right? I bet you everyone would put it on there. If David, you called him up, everybody would put it on. He's just holding it back for obvious reasons. Agreed. And, and the whole DocuSign thing is really funny too. But I just, it's going to get on all the, it's going to be at alien strippers. It's going to get on any exchange that we want, I think. Now, that doesn't mean it does anything. You know what I mean? True. But, and of course it would help. It would help if it's on a bunch of these exchanges. We know that. So it's just this whole timing thing. And, it'll be very interesting to see. I think that, what do you think? When do you think the OUP will be up and running? Like not all of it, but like 50% of it. End of year?
Maybe end of year, 50%. Maybe.
It's a big. It depends on
when
they
try to get it on
beginning
fourth
of it.
Quarter to time it for next spring.
They'll have most definitely 25% of it done. You have some stuff that might even come out this quarter, like crypto to gem. Hundreds of people already have it in beta. And then right after that, the waitlist drop system. So, I would say there only needs to be 5 out of the 15 things for it to be 1/3 of it. Okay. I think we get 5 out of those 15 things definitely by the end of the year. to
I
get
think it's one of the systems that burns any of them, just one of them, and you actually they can do a tweet that we are burning. There have been, even if it's 10 gems have been burned, like that's a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
Out of the public, not I know they were burning the gem, whatever. I'm talking about out of the well, is that how it works? I always get confused about how it works, but you know what I'm saying. Like if they were able to like say that the publicly available OMI has been, taken out of circulation, or however you want to say it. And once again, they have to be careful so it's not security off other nonsense. But I do believe they've kind of figured that out. I think that's a big deal. I think it's a really big deal because then it's just cranking the wheel, right? And it's as fast as you can crank it. They're going to be pulling OMI out of the circulation.
Yeah, I think we would get OMI to gem first, and then we would get OMI to NFT after that. Just because if you have crypto to gem, then you would want OMI to gem, and then when people eventually get a little tired of the fees, they'll introduce staking. It's like, you stake this much, you lower the fees this much, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that is significant.
So yeah, good.
What
good
if they're
time.
waiting for the exchanges just for like they're waiting for OUP and things to come out first?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to list it with utility because then you'll just get a pump from the listing and then it'll go right back down because it's a poop coin at that point. But yeah, if you get utility with it, that it has staying power. Oh
yeah,
I do think that and this was the epiphany that I had. They already knew it, but the epiphany that I had maybe a year ago is their biggest audience to buy OMI is the Veve user.
Yeah. Built
so
in.
I was thinking, you got to go find some guy in the closet over here that's, buying Ethereum, but you need to introduce him to OMI. And that's good. You want that. But the biggest user, and I don't know what the percentage is, but I think it's high. I'll make it up. 70% of Veve users don't own any OMI. It might even be higher than that.
Correct. I was, there was some, I don't know where it was. I think it was like last week I had to go and take a look at the Facebook. They did a poll, like how many of you actually have OMI? And if you do, how much OMI do you have? And it was like, most people had 3 million or less OMI. And that was on, and now granted that's on Facebook where there's, a lot less, tech users, a lot of the tech and crypto people would be on Twitter, but still, I thought that was very interesting.
If it got, let's just put on an easier, because it's, it's a pain in the butt. You got to go take your money and send it to Bitfork and blah, 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 blah. We know the game, right? If it was on an easier one, I think they should do, or we as, content creators or whatever, once again, you got to be careful. It's not financial advice, blah, 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 blah. But, I think, no offense to you, Randy, but it's like intimidating because you're like, I have 150 million. And so you think, like, even me, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like nothing. I can't get 100 million. Like I'm worthless. But like we could do like I don't know what you want to call it, like a pitch to like just everybody get 100,000. You don't need to get 150 million. Like, and that with even the people that we have, I think would be significant.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. I think when you take a look at again staking, if you want those rewards, like just even people that don't necessarily care about crypto, if you're all about MCP points and you're all about being that set collector, the only way to get certain sets is to stake the max amount of OMI.
So what is the first? Isn't it like $1,000 something like that?
I think it's no. So 40, 20, 10, 5, 20, 2,500 is the first one. So that's the first level. $2,500 worth of OMI.
So that's 250,000.
No, 2,500, and then 5,000, and then.
I'm sorry. How much OMI is that right now, though? 250,000.
About that, yeah, give or take. So it's like a couple $100. I feel like that's very reasonable, for people to get something. Obviously the 40,000.
Yeah, that's
dollars worth of OMI. Yeah. Is
but
quite
the question
a bit more.
is can you put in $50 a month, get to something, and then it's going to go up. OMI's going to go up, and so if it were to go up to a cent again, then you're in the game. See what I mean?
Yeah,
that's what we should try to pitch. I think you don't got to go get 150 million.
Yeah.
I think the last one is the $40,000 worth of OMI.
And then the other thing I said, which I think is significant, is that, and correct me if I'm wrong. So when it's all running, it's all good. I can list my Todd or whatever, my, Silver Surfer for Omi, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm a guy who's afraid of, let's just pretend I'm afraid of everything. I'm afraid of, but I want to own Omi, but I don't want to do the, whatever. So I list it for Omi, my Todd sells. Now, for the first time in the world, I own Omi, right? I'm in the game.
Yeah.
So that I think could be significant.
Yeah. And there are some collectibles I've bought just to sell for Omi.
Okay. See, that's all right.
Because I know, okay, this will probably go
If
up.
you do the math and, you try to get 10, 20, 30, 50,000 more. I know that's a lot, but, okay, let's just say 10,000 more users this year. Core users, not just people that log in one time. Because I think there's about 5 to 10,000 core users right now. You try to double it to 20, and then all those people buy 100,000, and they don't even have to do it. They can do it by selling collectibles.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's a good point. It's a good dime. I do have this feeling though that especially me, because I've an addictive personality where you get that feel good. I don't know if you guys are in Hero, where you get that dopamine or serotonin dump where you buy something and you climb the leaderboard, and when you have that in MCP, you suddenly say, oh, I'm only getting this amount of MCP each day, but I have 5 million Omi, or however much. If the more Omi you have, the more susceptible you are to this. But I have so much, I could just spend. Because when people find that money, found money, what do? Most people spend it. I mean, I don't know how many people invest, what the statistics are, but I could definitely see people that have 10, 20 million Omi, they just going oh, I could. And especially when Omi goes up and they say oh, my $20,000 is now $50,000. I can spend 30,000 of it and still break even and still let that ride. And you can justify it by saying, well, I'm buying NFTs. I'm buying something that'll retain at least its value, hopefully. I mean, the secondary market fees are going to be huge, and Vive's going to make a ton of money with it. It is just something I worry about, though.
All right, I'll leave you with this number because I did it. So if we get 10,000 people on Veve, and that's reasonable, okay? Because we know, I bet you in the heyday we did have, 50,000 people. You know what I mean? I know we had a lot of bots and other things. We didn't have 2 million or whatever they said, but I bet you we had 50,000. Now, if you go look at Veve Fox data, we have, 5,000, maybe 10,000 people.
Yeah.
So if we got 10,000 people to buy 100,000 Omi, how much Omi gets taken out, or do they have now in their wallets? The answer is 1 billion Omi.
Wait, you said 10,000 people buying 5,000 Omi?
100,000.
Oh, 100. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, that's reasonable. I'm not saying you got to blow. I'm not saying you got to spend $1,000. A lot of people don't have $1,000. I'm saying $100. You buy $25 a month. People could do 25. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we could, kind of do this kind of pitch, 25 for 4 months so you can have 100,000 Omi. If 10,000 people do it, it would take $1 billion. I wonder what number you could do those numbers, Randy. That's not bad. I mean,
huh?
$1 billion out of circulation because they would hold it in their wallet.
Yeah, $1 billion Omi at one penny is like 10 million, right? Yeah, so you have, you have that's a lot of money going into it, and that's before staking. That's before locking it up, before you getting those rewards.
I'm just saying those people would that would pull it out of circulation because hopefully they would keep their 100,000 in their wallet and be happy and excited, and they would pray that it would go up at some point. Yeah,
that would. I mean, you could also have these raffle type things where you don't even need Veve. You could just take the community, be like, if you have 1 million Omi in your wallet, and we can verify that. And you could even have it as layer 2 in your wallet. You can go and say I'll gift someone something once a week, every week, forever, until that runs out, and that just incentivizes people to do that more.
I think the pitch is 100K. I think 1 million is too much for people, Randy. I think we got to pitch them on 100K because this, they got to set up the wallet.
That's true. That's a good point. Is that your alarm saying you got to bounce?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming.
Or else my kid will starve to death and then they'll get arrested and go to jail.
I love the thoughts. Sleeping, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me on. It's still good. I got, if you're on later, I'll try and jump on later.
Oh, yeah. I'll be on for hours.
All right. Well, then I'll come back. We'll talk. We'll do more math.
Yeah. We'll do
good
more
to
math.
see you, Sleeping.
Thanks, Sleeping. Good to see you too.
Oh, I love that, man. How you doing, Fam Bam?
Great. I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Long week?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I
What
just
you
didn't
got
get enough
planned?
sleep last night.
What you got planned this weekend?
Nothing now. I'm just going to be home. I'm going to go to bed early tonight and just get some things done that I've been needing to do tomorrow, hopefully.
I feel you. I can do something similar. A variation of the question I had before, if there was somebody, well, I guess I have two questions for you. If there was somebody that was going to help do a cap raise for Veve, like you pick the person that's in charge to pitch these VCs or pitch these major companies to buy 5% of Veve or 10% of Veve so they could raise money, who would you pick? Who is your person that you think is the best Veve mascot that can go to these big companies or VCs and sell them on it?
There's a lot of good ones out there, so it's really hard to pick somebody, but like I like Doctor of Stuff. He's good. I like Crypto Rain. I like gosh, I love all that whole roundtable y'all do on Monday. I love that. I look forward to it every Monday now. Because y'all gosh, but there's also see, I can't pick one. But Doctor of Stuff comes to my mind. I love how he taught. I love how he explains everything. He's really good at what he does. And yeah, I mean, Taps is good too.
Those are all really good answers. Those are high quality people right there.
Yeah.
If you were to have someone in the Veve fam that you have not met yet, or I guess it doesn't matter that you have met or have not met, that's not coming over for like a pitch dinner, that's just coming over just to have dinner with and to get to know, who would that be?
Wait, say the beginning part again.
Who is somebody that you could have like over your place to like have for dinner and like hang out with? Who would it be and why?
From the Veve fam?
Yeah.
Again, that's like I can't pick one person. There's so many. Everybody's great. Just to hang out. Brittany's
pretty fun.
Good.
She's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I can hang out with Sparky. I can hang out with Wizard. I can hang out with you. See, look, I can't pick one person. What are you doing to me? Johnny Dunn. Johnny Dunn was a lot of fun.
Yeah, he's great.
At Decon. Like, I don't think you were there that last night. He was supposed to get his flight Sunday. He missed his flight. So he came back. Like when we all had dinner. And so he was just like, I'm just gonna stay. I just came back. I'm gonna stay another. So we all went out. We all like he's so much fun. Like Johnny Dunn's like really cool. Like I don't think people realize how cool he is.
He's a fun guy. Oh, I love him. He's so chill.
Yeah.
His hair, his big, beautiful hair. Oh my God. I love that.
He's putting me to shame.
Yeah. Does your hair get super like crazy in the humidity?
Mm-hmm. Well,
because I feel like it didn't get like that in San Diego. I feel like it was relatively normal.
Well, yeah, but San Diego wasn't really humid, I don't think.
That's true. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like it's close to the ocean, right?
Yeah, but it's different. Yeah. I'm from Houston, remember? Like, and that's really humid. Yeah, there. But I don't know. The curls are coming back now. But no, this is not the curl. The curls are actually back more now, but just not all the way yet.
I know you did that treatment where it stayed straight for like 3 months, right?
Yeah, I don't want to do that again.
Why?
Well, it was really easy to take care of. Like it was like the time I could wake up and not do anything. I'm just like, oh, there you go. It's done. Like, it's just like, it's fine. But I'm used to, I think because my whole life it's curly and like I've been used to, and so it just looks so flat and it just looks weird to me after a while. And then I ran across some pictures with my hair really curly and I was just like, oh, wow. And then I was just like, oh, anytime I've seen that before, it's just been like, oh, to me. But now I see it, I'm like, wow, that looks kind of cool. I need that back. So cool. I do appreciate it more now. I'm glad I did it to see, but I'd rather just have my natural curly hair.
Yeah, I like that as well. So we have Lambo tomorrow and we have Marvel Mighties on Tuesday. I'm guessing you're most likely, if you had to pick between one, you'd be going for Lambo, right?
Yeah. But guess what? Okay, last night I tried to get in Alex's spaces, but I got in right at the end when they were closing down. And he said they're going to be doing a drop every day for 5 weeks.
When?
Starting, he said March is going to be crazy. That's what
David said that on Lori Brenner's space. He's like, you're
I'm
going to want to
guessing.
have
He said
gems.
5 weeks, so I don't know if that's starting into February into March or if it's like March going into April. But that's what he
Did
said.
it start already?
I don't know.
Because
He didn't give a date of like when it was gonna, but he just said he was looking at it, and I heard him. He's like, "Crap, 5 weeks every day."
we had one on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and then obviously 19th. So we've already had.
Okay, so maybe it's starting now. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't have.
I am not prepared. I like.
What are you gonna do if you get a Lambo?
Well, I'm sure I'll get one because there's how many are there? There's like 3,900 or something.
Total, I think there's 6,000.
Oh, there's 6. I was saying I did the math the other day. I have to find the. Yeah, there's 6,244. So I'm positive that I'm gonna get one. I just don't know if it's gonna be, like a secret rare or.
Yeah, but I'm feeling like more people are gonna go for it that don't normally, and then with these articles that have gone out, how many people signed up? We'll have to get with has Rootless Girl. Has she said anything? Any new accounts? Can she see that? Or is it
I could
just-
ask her. She definitely, but it comes like a day later. Like for the 17th, she
Mhm.
wouldn't know until like the 19th. Like it's always like a day delayed,
Okay.
which is fine.
Okay.
But you're right. Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm gonna get one because I have most of the vehicles except for like 2 Aston Martins, the ones that are like the 1 out of 7 and the 1 of 500. Outside of that, I do have everything else. So I really want to get this. I sold a bunch of decon stuff tonight because
collectibles.
Yeah, the collectibles. Just for more gems because I want to complete the Marvel Mighty set on Tuesday, and I wanted the Lambo as well. So I was like, okay, what can I do to do both? So that's what I did. So if I get the secret rare, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if you get the secret rare, what do? Do you sell that for like 1,500 gems, or do you?
I think I would. I'm so bad, but I want to flip it because I want other stuff. But if I was to get the secret rare, that would be incredible. And I don't know if I could flip it. I don't know. But then again, I might be able to because I also want the Eye of Agamotto really bad. So I have my gems to get that soon. But I do believe like it's already started coming down right now. And if March is going to be the way they're saying, like it's going to keep coming down. And I'm hoping I can get that, especially if I can get a Lambo, I flip it, then I can like still wait out for everything to go down more and grab it. Cause I'm sure we're getting Hulk too.
Yeah. So the Eye of Agamotto went from like 450. It's down to like 360 now. So
360?
Yeah. Or it was before. I don't know what it is right this second.
Nope. I'm going to call you a liar. Just kidding.
Okay, well, let's check this. Let's go to the tape. Okay. We're going to go to the sets. Okay, done.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to look on the.
And then Doctor Strange and the secret rare. You have the rest of the set, though, right?
Yeah.
360. There's 2 of them at 360.
Ooh, you keep on going down, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, I sold something else, too. Something else sold, and now I got 366 gems. I can get the Lambo and still have 290 gems left. Oh, yeah. Ready.
I want. Hold on, I'm trying to look up Superman. I still want my Superman back too.
He's like 420 now, I think.
Let's see.
Yeah,
yep,
he was
419.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I can get a Lamborghini, you know what I sold to get? Because I have some gems right now for. I sold my gold Frankenfat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I instantly regretted it. I felt bad. As soon as it said it sold, I was just like, because it's just, we got it from it's just, I don't know. That's just the way I am.
There'll be more to come.
I know. And then you know what happened? It more than doubled in price.
Really?
Like 2 weeks later. Yeah. I was like, crap, I could have sold it for more, but it doesn't matter. I got what I got. And I just want the Eye of Agamotto. I want the gauntlet when it comes out. That's my goal. So
You never sold your a logo, right?
No.
Okay. Oh, so nice. So you have two. I only have two now. There was this guy Ryan bought his third yesterday, and then this guy Jason bought the guys for the firefighters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So Ryan bought his third, and then Jason bought his second. So it seems like there's a decent amount of people that have at least two. So I'm gonna try to get a third, like in the next couple months. Hopefully it. I mean, but the price went from like 2,700 to like 3,100. So I was like, oh, yeah. Now it's getting harder to buy. Have you gotten into any other cryptos recently? Have you taken a look at other stuff?
No, I'm just all only right now. It's so cheap, and it's what I believe in most. The other things, there might be stuff that comes out and it doesn't. I don't know much about it, and I'm not willing to put any homework into it. I'm just gonna do what I do, stay where I'm staying. I just want to get more and more OMI.
You have competition. Competition is Bioshock. If it hits 300, he's getting one. So
I almost put in the feed and the Veve feed, and just like, hey, anybody want to sell me one for 300 gems? I'll give you 300 gems for it.
So that seems to be the price that most people are waiting for. Then it'll bounce right back up.
Yeah, but it's okay. We'll just see who gets to it first.
Yeah. Thank you for the alpha of have. Oh my God, that's so much. That is so much. But yeah, so David mentioned the Hulk. Well, he didn't mention the Hulk. Somebody else mentioned the Hulk, and David said, "Why not both?" So
I know that was that post that Fro created with me there, where I pop out of the folder.
Yeah.
So
did he tell
I
you
woke
he
up
was
in the
doing
morning
that?
and I was like, "Oh my God, David retweeted this." Oh, funny.
Did he tell you he was doing that, or you just happened to come in and be like, "Oh, hey, I'm in something"?
He asked, wanted to make sure I was okay with it, whatever. He said, because sometimes people aren't okay. I was just like,
Okay.
whatever. Like, make it silly. Do whatever you want. I'm easygoing. It's like, whatever.
So there's supposedly there's going to be I think it's a World War Hulk movie in the MCU that hopefully will come out in 2024. So if the Hulk, if we do get a collectible for the Hulk, most likely it will not be a Marvel Mighty if we're getting it next month. It'll be an actual like a Daredevil or Swamp Thing type of thing. I hope it's animated. How do you feel about certain collectibles, certain first appearance of like amazing key characters, them being Marvel Mighties? Are you upset because like they're chibi and you want them to be awesome? Are you indifferent, or do you think that it's good that a lot of the first appearance are Mighties because this way they're uniform?
Yeah, I don't want them to switch it up a lot because it would be weird. Like, okay, this one is FA, all these are FAs, but then you got FAs. Yeah, I'd rather it be all uniform, but it doesn't matter to me if they're the Mighties or not. Like, some people still don't like the Wonder Woman, the FA Wonder Woman, but I really like it. I mean, sure, I'd rather it kind of look like maybe Linda Carter, because she was the original Wonder Woman, and even the second one they came out with, I don't think she's all that great looking, but people wanted her to be FA. But I like her.
I like her because she's like super jacked. She's like, and shout out to Gal Gadot, because when she was in like one of the Fast and Furious movies, she was like super skinny, like thin, like girl, you're sick. You need like a sandwich. So when she got cast as Wonder Woman, I was like, oh man, she's like super scrawny. But then she gained like a lot of weight. She like started hitting the weights and squatting, and she got that's awesome.
I have her. I have the fidget tool. But anyways, okay, go ahead. I have the whole set. They're up there.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so I like characters that are like muscular, and they could be those characters. Like so, I feel like the Wonder Woman that we have, the one that's not the first appearance, but like she can like squish your head in between her thighs, like. I feel like that one's pretty legit.
But I'm fine. I'm fine with the way it is.
But that's cool that you have the fidgetals of those. You have it of the whole set?
Of these, the DC Direct.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so I have I have all four of them. I was just going to get Wonder Woman, and then I saw all of them, and the price wasn't that bad, and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna get all of them.
Nice.
Yeah. So did you see that there were Marvel Mighty little stuffed animals.
No?
I can't remember who. Somebody tweeted it, and I remember Danny the Bull retweeted it, and that's where I saw it. And it was a limited edition, and so I went and bought a little pack, and they have all. I can't remember which ones there was on there, but the Hulk was one of them.
How many? How long ago was that?
Like this past week. Maybe
Okay, so I know you said Danny the Bull retweeted it.
Mm-hmm.
So I am gonna go ham on his page right now, and I'm gonna look for it because I haven't. Oh wait, okay, hold on. The Marvel Mighty Superheroes, these guys.
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, do it again. Yeah, that's the. Yep.
Okay,
If you click, there was a link. I found the link and I commented it under his tweet.
Oh,
and when you click on that, one of them is the Hulk.
Oh, the Shop Disney. Okay. Oh, so maybe we will get. Well, I guess he was in She-Hulk. Oh, we can get a Ms. Marvel as well. Oh my God, I love Ms. Marvel.
So I ordered one of those just because it said limited and just because I'm weird like that.
Oh no, I get it. That's how they get you.
I know. Just like, it's Marvel Mighty's okay. I want it. So, whatever. But so I would rather with the Hulk, I would rather the FA be a big animated Hulk.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if we'll get it as a Mighty.
I mean, I don't mind it when there's both. Like the first appearance of Deadpool was, him in like a Christmas sweater. But then you had a bunch of other Deadpools, like Lady Deadpool, Skullpool, and Dogpool, and Howard the Duckpool are all first appearances. And then the X-Men Deadpool and the normal Deadpool were not, but they're, people still like them. So.
Yeah. But I'd rather than have a big.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Hulk smash.
Oh, Mighty Plushies and blind bags. Oh, all right. I did not know that. That's pretty awesome.
Whatever comes in it, I have no idea. I paid like $15 for it, and it'll be here sometime.
Cool.
I'll be sure to show everybody.
Oh, God, hiccups. So in the last couple months, when was the last time you've been on the stream? I feel like it's been
New Year's.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I think I was more tipsy than I thought.
It is what?
I was more tipsy than I thought. I woke up the next day feeling crappy. I'm like, oh man.
Oh, reminds me, I got to drink some water.
Water.
So on the, I think the 25th to the 27th, they're doing. Alex said that they might be doing to Toronto Comic Con.
Yes.
They haven't. they haven't said for sure yet. Are you going to go to that?
I want to definitely try to do that. Yeah, it would be in August, right?
Yeah, August 25th.
Because guess what? Remember my when I got bumped for my flight in San Diego and I got the credits?
Yeah. Oh,
apparently I got more than I thought. They said 800, but I think I had 1,600.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, because I was just doing my stuff for Hawaii, and I was checking because they gave me like a bunch of different little tickets, and I wanted to check all of them. And one of them had like nothing left on it. Another one had like $4, and I'm like, okay, I'll check the last one, and it said 600, and I was like, okay, okay. So yeah, I don't know. But then again, like I do have some family things going on. I think I told you a little bit about that, like that I still don't know if I might have to go to Texas. So I don't know. We'll just see what happens.
So Hawaii, when do you go there?
March 3rd. Yeah.
Oh, that's soon.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous.
I'll be back on the 11th. But believe me, I keep like I want to see my friends, and I would rather I could see them anywhere. It doesn't matter where it's at. She always likes, she picks places, and so she wants to go to Hawaii. Let's go do it. But at the same time, I'm like, damn it. Like I want more Omi. I want. And last night, I was with some friends and things doing, that NFT event stuff that I go do.
Oh yeah.
And they were telling me all these. Yeah, they were telling me all this. These things coming up. I'm like, damn it. Like one of them is coming up at the end of think the end of March, something that they have going on. I think it's in LA. And they're like, oh, you should go, blah, blah, blah. But it's like during weekdays and stuff. And I'm like, damn it, Hawaii. I was like, I'm going to be up there kicking sand. Like, damn you, Hawaii. The money I have to spend. I mean, it's not a ton. Like I could, yeah, I'm definitely spending money, but it's not, it could be a lot worse. You know, we're all getting a big house to share together. So we're splitting that. We're going to like rent a vehicle and split the money.
You can take pictures of the house?
Oh yeah. I'll take, well, she does that. My friend does all those things. She takes
I saw the pictures you sent yesterday.
Huh?
The pictures that you sent yesterday, like, oh yeah, we're taking pictures inside this person's house.
No, I took a girl. I was like, because there was several people that were there that I've already met. We're all in the same group, and we do the NFT stuff like once a month and things. So we were all in that same group where that person was messaging, and so we all went. And so there were a couple people that I knew, and then the guy told us he pointed to like he's like, oh, if you go down this hall, like there's like a guest room, and he's like, you guys should go check that out. It's really cool. And he's like, and this is the master room over here. So you know, we're just like, okay, whatever. And then like 30 minutes later, I'm like, this girl and I are talking. I was like, hey, I was like, you want to go look? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, because I don't want to do it by myself. Let's go be nosy. Come on. We went and we were just like, holy crap. Like, it was freaking amazing. Amazing.
That's so cool.
Incredible. It was so incredible. Like, seriously, like, definitely made me like, I don't want to do anything anymore. I will sit in my house, just put everything in Omi. I just want to put everything in Omi. And
so a lot of these people are the one that was, I mean, I don't want you to dox the person.
mm-hmm.
How did you as a Veve member come into these people that might not have known what Veve was before you? How did you go and meet up originally?
Okay, whenever we were in San Diego, Comic-Con, you and Sean, like I love hearing y'all talk, like bouncing ideas, and you talking about the comic book. Like it was just, I love learning that stuff, and just, you know, it's just feels great, and it's just like, wow, you know, I'm interested in all these things, and I want to learn more and things, and I know how I am here, you know, when I go to work, and there's so many people that are just like, you know, like, oh, how are your little NFTs that you can't touch, and you know, they don't. It's like, yeah, they're not open-minded. They're not, you know. And people could be that way. It's fine. You know, I take the laughs and I joke back with them and I do whatever. But also, like, I want to also have those experiences of having those conversations, like, and hearing how you guys were in San Diego. And so as soon as I got back from San Diego, I started Googling. I was just like, NFT events near me or whatever. And that's when this one popped up. It's called Club FOMO. And so I was just like, yeah. So I was just like, okay, let me see. And it had just started. So when we got, I think San Diego was what, end of July, I think, right?
Yeah.
They had just started in like May. And what it is this guy who is from the Hollywood scene, but he wasn't an actor, but he's friends with all these celebrities, things like that. Like he told me how he, you know, hung out with Quentin Tarantino, which I'm freaking huge on Quentin Tarantino, you know, things like that. Sure. I'm just like, oh my God. So, he lives here now, and his dad owns a lot of restaurants here. And so anyway, so he just, I don't know, he started getting into, he said he was one of the first 10,000 people to join Veve, but he's no longer in Veve, you know, pay out and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But, you know, every time he sees me, he's like, Veve. Like, that's what he calls me. There's Veve. But anyways, so he has like Bored Apes, things like that. And he has friends and, you know, celebrity wise and everything. But so he got this whole thing going over here.
Wait, did you say celebrity wives?
Celebrity wise. Like what did I say? I don't even know.
It sounded like you said celebrity wives.
No.
Like
he's got friends celebrity wise. Like
okay,
he has
gotcha.
Celebrity type friends and things. Like he has,
cool.
You know, like I told you, Snoop Dogg is one of his friends. His brother comes
there, right?
to these things. I've met him several times already, things like that. And so they have my, you know, a group in Twitter. We have a big group chat that, you know, it's completely full. You can't add any more people and things. And they stopped. Last time I did one of those events was in October. And then we went to DCon in November. he started, he wants to turn that little place into a dispensary. So it was like, okay, we're not really doing this much anymore or something. But then that guy, somehow, I don't even know when he got in our chat, he just suddenly started talking in there maybe a month ago. He was like, hey, what do you guys think about like getting together? Do you guys ever get together? And I jumped in there because I'm always ready for this stuff. And I was just like, oh yeah, we can do that. I was like, Fridays are best for me. Like, what do you want to do? So we had actually planned it, not realizing Super Bowl was last weekend.
Oh, true.
We planned it. So at the last minute, he was just like, hey, I forgot, this is the Super Bowl. How about we do it next Friday? So we're like, okay, we're down. So, and we're going to go back. He wants to do this like about once a month.
Oh, okay. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah. So he even said, he's like, you guys have any other people in NFTs and stuff, bring them. So I actually text Wet Wizard today. And I'm like, hey, next time, come on. I was like, you're going to like this guy.
Yeah.
Come on. So he, BB Magic Kid actually, she was just like, oh, tell Wet Wizard. So yeah, I told Wet Wizard. And
I miss that man.
I know. Well, he's close. He's like 2 hours away.
Nice.
So if he can make it. And then there's, we have some VV people in a group chat for Arizona. And I want to tell them too, like, I want to see how this goes first. But first, the guy was talking last night about having it. He's like, oh, I want to have another one on Pi Day, which is March 14th.
Oh, yeah. You'll be back just in time.
Yeah, but it's on a Tuesday.
Oh.
And I'm like, and then when I was telling other people too, we were all there and they're like, yeah, he wants to do it on March 14th. And blah, blah, blah. I was like, guys, that's a Tuesday. And they're like, no. And everybody was saying the same thing. They're like, we can't do it. We can't do it. So I'm hoping he'll change the day to like a Friday.
Yeah. I mean, Pi's a fun day. So
yeah, but there's no way I'm going to do anything on a Tuesday and have to go back to work, especially after coming back. I can't call out. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's you're I know you have a really good relationship with your boss, and he is still yet to see the light of OMI. He is still yet to see the light of premium digital collectibles.
No, he's in BB. I made sure he was in BB, but he doesn't have OMI.
Okay, gotcha. That's what it was. He just didn't have the OMI yet.
He's got a few collectibles. He hasn't messed with it in a while. He probably hasn't even He probably doesn't even know he needs to KYC. So.
Yeah, I have a bunch of friends that also haven't KYC'd either.
Yeah, so I need to tell him to do that probably.
I do think Vivi made a good decision by saying that you need to have KYC to cash out, but you don't need KYC to buy. So this way people aren't disincentivized by KYC. And Lambo's gonna sell it. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. I'm ready for it.
I have two things I have to do tomorrow. One tomorrow is I guess I could just combine it into one because that's at 11 tomorrow, right? The drop.
I don't even know.
Well, 11 Eastern Standard Time. Let me see what. Just so I know, just so I'm prepared.
I'm thinking it's 9 a.m. for me. Yeah, it's 9 a.m. for me. So
all right, so
10, 11 for you. Yeah.
I have the. I don't know if you entered in. Oh God, I'm dying. In the giveaway for the Al Kahn, David Yu, and Dan Carruthers signed Pikachu Funko Pop.
I did not.
Oh, you hecked up. So yeah, the giveaway is tomorrow. We are going and doing the raffle. That's at 12. So I'll
throw
probably
my name in there. I'm just kidding.
I can't.
I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I totally would have, but
I'm just kidding. Go. I knew about it. I should have done it. Like it's on me. It's all good. I'm just kidding. Go.
I was hanging out with Brittany this weekend, last weekend, and she said that the last charity thing that Fam Bam was doing, that Lori Brenner was doing, she forgot to actually donate to the thing. And she's like, oh my God, I hope Lori doesn't hate me. I was like, I'm sure it's fine. Like, and it says, so this time when she had it, I made sure I did it. I donated twice, just to make sure that Lori doesn't hate me. I was like, no, it's good. Lori's so chill. What was your favorite part about the Lori Brenner David Yu interview?
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Favorite part? I don't know. I mean, I think just getting David on there, period. And it kicked me up. There was times where I couldn't hear. There were several times where I had to back out. It's like when they were talking about Spider-Man, I wanted to hear what they were going to say. And then it just went silent on me. And I'm like,
oh no.
Yeah. And I was just like, first you're waiting to be like, okay, is they going to come back on? Are they just being quiet? And then after a minute, it's just like, crap, it's not working. So I had to back out, go back in. And then they were kind of done talking about it. that happened several times. So there were things that I need to go back and listen to it. But I think him discussing, so he definitely knows about all those other spaces that were going on and things, and him trying to explain that, like about how he does own his company, things like that, kind of putting that out there. I liked him doing that instead of just, he could have not answered it. What? I just bought a Veve logo 384. I need to obtain a card. Oh gosh. So when it comes to the cards, like if I was to even sell one of my logos, I'm not selling one of my cards.
Okay, so I have to find out. As I'm pretty sure. Be advised, the cards are very expensive.
Yeah.
Like I think a couple $100. I'm gonna ask one of my guys now. Do you still have that card?
Well,
I know this guy
has asking if he has to get a card, but you don't have to have a physical card to be able to use it at the events.
Yeah, so there's I'm asking a guy right now that I know has one, because this other one, I have two that I have redeemed myself, and I don't have the card for either. It was the first one I left in my old apartment, and the second one, the guy's like, "Do you want me to send you the card?" I was like, "Nah, it's fine. You help me out with this deal. You can keep it." So I know he has it. So I'll let you know, AKCB. Yeah, keep him posted on that.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
So going to Hawaii, how much did you dedicate towards the trip? Like, hey, I want to have a good time, I want to have spending money, I want to go like whitewater rafting, whatever it is. And how did you budget that versus your wants/needs of Veve and Omi?
Well, I've known about the trip for over a year, so I've paid a little bit. I think I've paid, it's not as much as you would think. I think I paid like, I don't even know if I paid $1,000. And so now I just need to pay for, like, once we rent the car, we'll split up whatever that is. And it's going to be split up several ways. So it's not a lot. That's the good thing. And then my flight is paid for because of my credits that I got. So I don't have to pay for that. So yeah. I don't want to go somewhere like that and just be like, oh, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do, I want to save money. I'm going to go have fun. Yeah. And there is a live volcano. That's what I really want to do.
How live?
It spews lava over you. Just kidding.
Oh, that's such like a white person thing to do.
No, it's not bad. I mean, if you look at pictures, it's not bad. But I mean, it's supposed to be better to go at night because then you can see the glowing and things. And then there's the stars. It's like really pretty from what I've understood.
Bet. Oh, I'm so jealous.
And every person I've told at work that I'm going, we're going to the Big Island. And when I said that, they're all saying, go see the volcano.
Okay.
Like separately, they're all saying the exact same thing. So but it's like $260 to do I think a 12-hour thing that you go do there. I don't know. I haven't looked totally into it.
Is it like a hiking trip or like a tour or something? Because 12 hours are that's a long time.
Yeah. So it's there's all kinds of stuff to do over there. I haven't even totally looked into it because I haven't had time, but I'm supposed to be looking into that. And we were going to do some stuff with stingrays. My friend's the one that planned that, and now we were talking the other day, and she's like, I'm kind of scared of sharks. I was like, you're the one that brought it up. This has been your thing for months. We keep joking that we're going to steal stingrays and bring them home with us. And all of a sudden she's just like, I'm scared of sharks. And I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to, so I don't know. She didn't take it completely off the table, but she's more nervous. And so we might do stingrays. We might not. Like go swimming with the stingrays. Other than that, we haven't completely planned everything. Her husband's birthday is around this time too, so we'll have a little birthday dinner for him. What are you looking at?
Oh no, I have I just had a person messaging me. I had to get back to them real quick. Okay. So I guess you would, so obviously the lack of light pollution would be really good to see the stars, but in Hawaii you cannot see the northern lights, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's meant for like in the northern hemisphere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Alaska.
There's a movie I forget what it's called. I think it's called Battleship, where this guy is in the Navy. Liam Neeson's in it. Rihanna's in it too, which is really weird. But like aliens come in and they're like, and like the Navy and the Air Force trying to fight it. And there's this dude, this old school veteran that like lost his legs in whatever war, you know, I was like Iraq, Afghanistan, whatever. And he's like trying to like climb the mountain, and like security forces are near like Hickam Air Force Base, and like everyone, you have to evacuate the mountain. Aliens are invading. We have to go. Like, and so his like personal trainer is like, we got to come down the mountain. He's like, listen, I'm pretty much already dead. I want to see an alien. Like, you can go down if you want. So he just, I don't know. I guess because it takes place in Hawaii, it just reminded me of your of going there.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have evacuation routes in Hawaii just in case the big volcano bursts?
Oh, I'm sure they do. I've never been.
Me neither. I mean, I would feel like I would check that out before I go. You know?
I'm fine. I'll be fine.
I love and I miss you so much.
I miss you guys too.
Oh, I can't. Oh, it's been too long. It's been too long.
I know. And I was sick for freaking ever.
Oh yeah, you got sick for like a while, right?
Like a month.
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. My friend that I live with, she's a teacher, and she like is around kids like all the time, and so she gets sick a lot. Like she was sick for like a month and a half.
Yeah, I should have gone to the doctor earlier. I wouldn't have been sick that long, but
it was awful.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Oh, Jake says what island? The Big Island. I think it's called Kona. Kona.
What's it called?
Kona. I think that's what it's called.
Oh.
Kona. The Big Island.
Oh, I don't know that. I don't even think I know a bunch of the names. I know there's like Maui and Oahu and Waikiki, and I think those are the only three I know.
Mm-hmm. I definitely want to do some hiking. Oh my gosh. But I don't know. My friend is not into that as much as I am, but the owner, not the owner of the company I work for, but the guy under him, he hikes like crazy, and he goes to Hawaii all the time and hikes, and the pictures, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. So I did tell my friend, I was like, as long as we can get a hike in somewhere, you know, that's something else I want to do. So that's also something we're supposed to be looking into. I have some tabs open. I just haven't really looked into them.
Ooh, night scuba diving. I would.
So I would do that, but my friend's not going to do that.
Your friend doesn't have to go.
I know, but you know, like I don't get to see her much.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm not a strong swimmer. So Brittany would love that. She loves the water. She's a fish. There's a reason why she likes Feesh. She'd be all over that.
Well, I told her, she said she would love to go. And I was like, seriously, we're looking for another person. And then she's like, okay. And then I told her I'd text her the details, and then she never texted me back.
She's got a lot. She's just very busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. Like nothing bad, just busy.
I know, but that was like weeks ago. So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna bug her. I don't bug people. Like,
yeah.
Google image, what? Night scuba diving.
Night scuba diving.
Yeah, I would do that. I've never even been scuba diving, but I would do that if.
Yeah, I'm not a strong swimmer. I would do that though if I'm not going super deep.
Beautiful. Reminds me of Avatar.
Oh, the second one that just came out?
Well, just the color, like both of them. Both the movies. I
haven't seen the second one. I want to. I want to rewatch the first one before I see the second one. I wanted to see Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 nights ago, but it wasn't playing at the theater that I was close to, so I saw Ant-Man, which was fine. That was good. That was great. But I'm gonna see that on Wednesday, Winnie the Pooh. I'm so excited.
I can't get into that stuff.
Oh, you don't want to see
more of comedies, and I'm just like, I don't know. If I'm gonna go to the movies, I want to see like Avatar came out. That was the first movie I think I've been to at the theater since COVID.
Really?
Yeah, and I was definitely going to see that theater. I needed 3D, IMAX, all of it. And my son, he loves the movie, so he was on board. And we're definitely going to go see Super Mario when it comes out. We'll go see that. And what else is coming out? Oh, Avengers or Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to see that at the theater too. Ant-Man, I don't know. I can wait.
So the Ant-Man one, the only option that was available was 3D, which was kind of fine. Like the action scene was epic. Like there was like the last hour is just amazing. Beginning is good, the middle is like okay-ish. Hour's epic. The last hour's epic, but but I got like a headache from like the 3D. I will say though that the preview for Super Mario in 3D was out of this world. I was just like, in my glory.
Yeah, I want to go see that. We'll see that one for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know what else.
And the voices are fine, they're okay. I don't think they're like super fantastic amazing, but I don't think they have to be,
Yeah.
What up, dog boy? I know you said you were going to bed early tonight. Do you have to Vamonos?
No, it's 6:30 right now. I want to take a good long bath.
Okay.
Just go to sleep. I'm so tired today. But I am good. Why?
Cool.
When are you getting off?
Oh no, I'm good for another 30 minutes probably.
Okay.
So we have so what are your predictions for the month of March that will be nicknamed March Madness probably for what we would get? Like he mentioned, I think Lil Prince, or maybe Lori mentioned that and he just responded to it.
Yeah, Lori mentioned it. And that's when I think he spoke about not letting us know which companies they have right away, because like that was one that they announced and it's been such a long time that people were wondering if we still had it. But I definitely think we're getting the Hulk.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we are. That's just what I think. Doesn't mean anything.
He seemed pretty positive on anime. Like he mentioned Dragon Ball Z.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he would have mentioned that and the process it takes to get it unless things were going well.
And he mentioned, what was it?
Pokemon.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get that yet, though. But what was it where he said the licensors? Where did he say? Oh, it was that interview with
Matt Gondek?
Yes, where he said he has been in, was it in Hong Kong with the Asian licensors?
Yeah.
He said licensors.
What did he mention? What Asian licensors?
No, but he didn't say he was trying to get anything. He said with the Asian licensors.
Maybe that he had gotten them already.
But we don't know.
Mentioning Dragon Ball Z was very epic. I mean, could be Studio Ghibli, it could be Hayao Miyazaki, it could be so many different things, like Funimation, could be Toei Animation,
it could be anything.
What's the license that we don't have yet that you want, even if it's something niche that you're just like, oh, you know what, Hasbro, My Little Pony, to the moon. Like, what do you think is cool?
I want Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, Harry Potter. Let me see what else. I
want
Aliens and I want Terminator.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope.
I want the liquid robot and I want the alien.
The T-1000.
The alien from the Alien movie. Hi, BB Magic.
Did you see Prey?
No.
Okay, so it's on Hulu. It's like a prequel to the Predator movies where it's supposed to take place in North America and like, I don't know, like the 1500s maybe. And it's like, so the Predator comes in and he just goes and he takes a look at a wolf and a snake and a bear and he just starts like, it's so heckin' good. Like I've seen it twice already. I might see it again at some point.
Okay. I'll have to check it out.
What is your preferred piece of entertainment? Does it go into like a show, like music? Is it like a theater? Is it movies? Is it movies while drunk? Books, video games, etc.?
I don't do a lot. I'm so weird. I don't mind just sitting on the couch and just watching stuff on Like that's what, like with Ant-Man, I don't really care to go see it at the theater. Not that I don't want it, because I saw the first one, I liked it. You know, I think this one's going to be good. But I would rather, like, if it's on Disney Plus, I'll watch it there. Then, oh yeah, Lambos for everybody.
Lambos for life.
Yeah. So like Ant-Man, I would watch from home, but I want to go see Mario at the theater. I don't really do it very much at all for entertainment. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Veve. I hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
That's my entertainment. And
Cool
it's fun. Yeah, great people. But yeah, I don't really. I don't go anywhere. I go hang out with Heather more often.
Oh yeah. How is she?
I'm going there next weekend. It's her birthday.
Oh.
Yay.
She doing well?
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
She's doing pretty good. And I was there a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've been getting together like every once in a while. So we were at DCon on November. I was there sometime before Christmas.
She's so great. She's amazing. So
I've been going there, seems like maybe once a month, go hang out. And Cody, he's cool. I love him. He's funny. Like, and some of the people, you know, she has friends there that are in Veve, but they're not on Twitter. They're not, you know, like active in anything. So it's cool that, you know, we go over there and they're just like, oh, you guys, you know, they'll talk about Veve and things like that. There was somebody there last time. He was asking, because Heather and I were talking about Veve. He comes in. He's like, oh, what are you guys talking about? And we're like, oh, Veve, you know. And he's like, still? You're still in that? I'm like, dude, we're in deep. Like, there's no turning back. We're still. And he's like, I just don't understand it. It's like, it's okay, you know. You don't have to understand it. It's all right.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, he wasn't interested, and I'm not going to push it, but I am. I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I like freaking Heather's collection is massive. She's got
what does she have? What is, how do you know how many collectibles she has?
I can't remember, but it's a lot.
Oh yeah, she was my rival for a while. Like we were going like set for set, and then she just took off because I focused more on Omi. I was like, oh man.
Because then there's times, you know, where we were like trying to mess with our collectibles and do things. She's just like, oh, here, just take my phone, whatever. And I was like, what the hell? Like, you've got, like, good Lord, you put me in shame. Like, get this out of my face. She's got a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. She's a lot of fun. The first time we met at DCon in 2021, we like, so I don't know how we got like separated from the group. I guess we went to the bar for a drink and we just stayed there and we talked for like a half hour. She's such a sweet gal.
Yeah, she's good.
This year, it seems like, so when Alex mentioned the potentially going to Montreal as one of the next things that they're doing, I guess they were not doing the DCon kickoff party this year.
I don't know. They haven't told us. I know a while back, maybe it's been more than a month ago, I heard Alex in Spaces, and he said he would like to do something like that again. He said, but he didn't say we were going to. He just said he would like to, and he said maybe it's like something like a barbecue. You know, it wouldn't be at that. What was it? 3D Retro. It was the place we went to before. It wouldn't be that, but that's something he wants to do. But I don't know if it's going to be a thing.
What was the 3D Retro?
That's the store.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Place outside, yeah.
Okay, when we were in the parking lot, sweating, while Greg Flo is just giving everyone tequila.
I was just taking tequila. No more. I can't.
That was so dangerous.
Yeah, I can't do that. I got so, I don't know. I drank a lot then. I drink every night at DCon in Anaheim. My mission next time is not to drink very much. I just want to.
Yes. Water is our friend. Water's
whatever. But yeah, Veve Magic, we were just actually talking about that event. She's like the event. We were just talking about that a little bit ago. If you rewind it a little bit, I was telling Randy about it.
All the good stuff, all the cool people you meet too.
Yeah, and Wet Wizard, he said he would definitely try to make it with next time. Like, I think he's been working again.
Yeah, he did mention he was going to.
But he also still travels a lot.
Yeah. Him and Crypto Rain went back to work because they, like, in this like dip, and you don't want to sell anything. You want to buy more stuff. So I was like, this is stupid. We're gonna go. I've been thinking about that too. I do have something to do in the next couple weeks. This week I'll be mostly fine and I'll still stream whatever. But for the next couple weeks after that, I might have to take a hiatus for 2. I don't know. I'll keep everyone posted. But I'll come back in March and I'll have a little more on me. So,
Oh, you're gonna go take off, have a little vacation?
Working vacations. Yeah, something like that. I'll keep people posted.
Yeah,
I'll let
yeah,
them
yeah.
Yeah. I'll keep. I'll be in a new location every couple days.
Ooh.
So that I'll
You just go by yourself?
internet. Huh?
You just going by yourself?
I'll be with people in each. I don't know if I'll ever be by myself. There'll be other people there in the same vicinity as my whereabouts. I hate to be too cryptic.
Ooh, you're trying to be secretive. Well.
Oh, they're smashing it in spaces. Smash it.
Oh,
Smash it.
keeping the positivity. I love it when they do the spaces.
Yeah, I got a shout out to and shout out to you, Veve Magic. That like I was talking with this about sleeping before, and then about it on the Into the Akomiverse on Monday. Is that I'm so thankful that I could be wiped off the face of this planet. I could step away and never come back, and the community would barely even feel it because there's people like you guys.
That's
like
a million owe me in the jar, Randy.
I didn't think about my looks. I just said like if I wasn't around.
Talk bad about yourself. Okay, anyways,
there's people like Magic and there's people like you, Fam Bam, and there's people like Silicone, Mr. MC1 in Spaces and Dr. Rolex and Crypto Rally. There's so many like amazing positive people producing content in all different forms that people can take a break, they can step away, and they could not produce content for a month, and people would be like, okay, that's fine. There's other people that we can go and get our VV fix from. How Italians get their fixes. I don't know if you remember those memes from like 20. Yeah.
Where's the Okay.
So yeah, that's what makes this great. That's what makes it's like what makes America great. It's like you have a bunch of business owners and like just the people. So people that make. So I'm super excited to see where this goes as this gets more attention. And this is in like the height of the bear market or the depths of the bear market, however you want to look at it. Next like year or so, especially when we have more and more updates every couple of weeks, it's fantastic. I can't be anything but bullish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But there's still people, but not true, Randy.
Oh.
Yes.
Thank you.
Absolutely. But see, there's also people like, there's a lot of people in this community that are really amazing. They all bring different things, and they're all knowledgeable, intelligent, like all of it. And just there's some that are just not around right now, and they're definitely missed. It doesn't matter if we still have other people that are just as smart, or just like I still miss the ones that aren't around right now. And it's kind of like,
that's true. I miss Taps.
I know.
Did you see on Twitter, like I asked him to be my Valentine and he said yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was the envy of all of Twitter that day.
He should just come in just for like 5 minutes.
I'll
hop on the screen for a minute and just say like,
not tonight, but I'll message him or I'll get him on in like the next month or so, just for like 10 minutes so people can
just tell him 10 minutes that we just need our taps fixed.
We do.
Yeah.
So we'll do that, and then I'll give you all pictures in August when we get married. No, he's getting married, not to me though. But there's still time.
Are you going to the wedding?
Yeah.
I thought you said you didn't get an invite.
I didn't get a +1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I got the invite though. I did not get. I think I'm the only one.
That's the same time as.
I know.
Oh my god.
But he already invited me, so I have, and it's like.
I was gonna do road trip with you and Brittany.
Oh, that'd be so much fun.
I had plans, you just didn't know yet.
Well, you can still go with Brittany. Brittany could fly to you, and then you guys can road trip there, or vice versa.
No, I'm talking about because is it Montreal? I thought it was somewhere else, like on East Coast. I thought it was Toronto.
Well, I asked Sleepin, like, how is that in your side of the country, or is that the other side? And Sleepin said it's like an hour or something away from him, so it's definitely on the western side of Canada.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They might do something, and I mean they might come to New York. They'll probably come to New York the Comic Cons again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. I think that's more Marvel's decision of having Veve there, as opposed to the vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll just
Oh, when is your Veve birthday?
March 9th.
Oh, that's next month.
Mhm.
My Veve birthday is on the 27th.
February.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, can't wait. That's soon. I don't.
2
What am I gonna be
years.
doing for that? Where am I gonna be? Well, I won't be here, but I will be around. I'll let y'all know.
You're gonna have to spill the beans.
Maybe when it's over.
Not on stream.
Not on stream. I am going to bounce now. I do have a couple things I need to do, like finish my Subway sandwich and drink the rest of this alcohol. But I do have to bounce.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
I know.
We'll do it again.
I know. I stood you up last time.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good.
I was like, I
Everyone,
didn't even tell him sorry. I didn't say anything.
It's all good. It's fair. Everyone say, "Where's Dashie? Where is Dashie? I love you guys. Goodbye." Meow. 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 Meow.